Alright, let's go delete Apophis maybe. Can global whales do this now? Alright, get 1 stack up. 2 stacks. 3 stacks. Alright, let's try this. Okay. That's pretty pog. I mean, you know with the Shiro, this guy's dead already. The 15% more damage, you can one-shot him. That extra 15 damage is stacked multiplicatively. Right, this here. Right, the CN testing alternative for Crow is just 2-piece Shiro. Right, 2-piece Shiro is way better than 2-piece Cobalt on the Cactus. Cobalt is what? 20%? Shiro is 26%. If you do 2 Shiro, 2 Samir, you'll do a lot better than the Frigg piece. Like you get rid of Cobalt and you use Shiro instead. But yeah, like Cobalt will definitely work better compared to Shiro in an actual scenario, because Cobalt is active 100% of the time. Shiro is active half of the time. So it's 2 Samir, 2 Shiro for testing on Cactus. You use 2 Samir, 2 Crow in a real world situation. If you have higher crit. Otherwise, 2-piece Cobalt to 20%, coupled with Samir also 20%. Like, Cobalt's kind of good after they swap the 2 and 4-piece. But the thing is, right, Shiro is still better for endgame content on CN now. Even better than Crow, because of all the execute mechanics. It's not just the shatter. There's shatter, there's also the execute mechanics. Because you execute a boss at like 30% HP or something, right? So the effective range for Shiro is still 100% to 50 HP. And then the effective range of Crow turns from 60 HP to 30 HP. Now Crow with execute mechanics is only active for like half of the original. Right? This is the burst comp, right? If it goes for a minute 30, it's not good. Probably possible 30 mil. I fucked up with this build. The 2-piece Crow wasn't even active for that one. So you know the damage is going to be a lot higher. Let's go to the actual sustained damage optimal build now. Optimal matrices placement for this build, right? Normal situation. Frigg on Frigg. Saki on Tsubasa. And Crow Samir on Saki. But if you're doing damage testing, right, to make it kind of similar to actual real world situations, you put the 2 Shiro instead of 2 Crow, like this. Right, this also works normally, but we just do it like this. Again, you gotta start with the Saki skill to get the flow going, and then you gotta have 2 stacks basically. Wait for the cooldowns. Alright. That's 40 mil, right? 40 mil? Definitely 40 mil doable. 40 mil in a minute 30. Seems balanced. Slight power creep, right? From last time testing, we tested the fire comp and the vault comp and everything. Everybody stabilized around 25 mil. Frost definitely new meta, alright? Like, first fully built CN comp available, right? Vault is missing Vault is missing Flame is missing Mark from back then. Mark was broken for Flame, right? Because Flame didn't have survivability. Mark provided the survivability for Flame. Alright, Frost is the first one that didn't require Mark or Buy. So this will be the benchmark from going forward. Next character we get, Lyn, is going to boost this comp even further. Lyn A6 is huge for Frost, yes. You don't have to do the Copium Tsubasa rotation anymore. Let me try the auto attack for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, whatever. Let me try whichever has better ratios. This is just purely auto attacks. So 500k on basic attacks in 20 seconds. Now we spam some dash attacks, I guess. We add in dash attacks while we're at it. That did like 800k. So adding in dash attacks while you're doing autos is definitely worth it, I guess, in the same 20 seconds. And then now we do the hold attack. Obviously, you have to combo in the hold attack because that's the way you trigger the 10-second cooldown. What's the thing called? Surge. This is just way more damage. Even minus the surge. We did like a mil in base damage. Alright, let's try this. So basically we go back to Frigg. How much we do? 1.2? 1.2 in 20 seconds. Alright, so Frigg zone plus Saki combos, right? That's about 1.6, so like still better than Frigg, just off ratios alone. And then now we put 2-piece Huma here, just to give Frigg some advantage. .2 more than Saki without matrices. Like, why is this worth it to you guys? Why is it worth the 2 slots of wasted Huma? Right? Saki had no matrices. But we don't have Frigg set. I mean, if you don't have Frigg set, then put Huma on, right? Of course. How about we put 2-piece Huma here? And then we do the same test again. Whose trait am I using? Samir. I'm just using Samir. Right? So if I put 2-piece Huma on Saki, right? $2.1 mil? I mean, this is not really fair again. And pretty much the same, honestly, because we're triggering 6-star. We're triggering the 11% damage, so looking at the multipliers don't really matter. So you really just want to look at the base. So our normal attack, our dodge attack, basically these two. Everything else don't matter. Look at these two numbers when you're doing the calculation. And then for Frigg, just only look at the dodge attack. Right? You just want to look at this number. Your dash attacks did 583. You want to look at that number, and then for Saki, you want to look at Saki's damage. I'm not canceling perfectly as well. 581, these two combined, so it's about the same. You put Claudia on here. This is another alternative if you don't have Frigg, and you have Claudia for whatever reason. Alright, so you start off with 2 hits plus this discharge. Discharge. Damn, Frigg Matrices benched already. Never mind. Rip Frigg Matrices. Claudia power crept. I mean, you use four Shiro for like short form content. Anything you can like burst down. If you're running with like, if you're running join ops with maybe 3 other whales, I mean, and everyone puts a Shiro and starts the battle with Shiro and the 35% damage, Shiro is definitely better, right? Because if your fight lasts like only a minute, then Shiro's good. If it lasts longer, probably go with Frigg. Not Frigg, but Claudia. It depends on how long the battle lasts, right? Because you can't get out of combat until it ends. Shiro 4-piece works for the whole team for the 35 seconds when you go in. I have a feeling for global, you're supposed to run 4-piece Saki, 4-piece Alice, and 4-piece Claudia for the meta Alice comp. Because the 4-piece Claudia is going to be, right? Because Alice comp deals a shit ton of damage with Alice Discharge. Meryl versus Saki. This is like 30 mil. I don't know. I probably can't rotate this shit correctly, but that's only 30 mil. I don't know. Any actual Frost mains that played Meryl? Any actual global Meryl players? How much do you guys do? Meryl probably only better for mobs and Bygone. Fucking trolls. Everyone in here is trolling. In a minute, Meryl only did 16 mil. No, that's a no-go. Let me just quickly kill myself. And again, when you have the Saki buffs, Saki and Frigg buffs, pre-stacking skills don't help you. Right, so now I have the flow. I have 2 stacks, right? I wait out the cooldown. When I go in, the heart stream, the 2 stacks, would get cleared because I got the 2 stars. It resets my stacks on the weapon. So I'll show you guys when I go in, the stacks are gone. But if there is no +2 here, your stack will stay. So this +2 is an actual debuff for Saki. It's bad if you're trying to burst down a boss at the start. Let's see if they changed it for global. We go in, stack's gone. See that? So now I can't do a perfect and the fucking. It doesn't matter if I have C6 or not. I have C6, I still got it cleared. I mean, this current setup, if you saved, is free-to-play possible, right? Like, ignore everything else, this is free-to-play possible. You should be running 4-piece Shiro here, Crow Samir here, or maybe even more Crow Samir Shiro, and the 4-piece Saki on Frigg. Yeah, and also no 3-star Tsubasa kind of hurts the rotation. I mean, if you're free to play, you should have Tsubasa 6-star by now. Definitely possible. So basically, if you don't have 6-star Tsubasa, you can't do the stacking properly. You just gotta, you know, cope and do 3 dash attacks. But basically, the gist of this build is to just keep your Tsubasa stacks up at all times. Like, you have to pay attention to your Tsubasa stacks. Right, this sharp arrow, and make sure you maintain it. You have to maintain it. Like, you can't let this drop ever. This is basically how you use Tsubasa. Like, if you're 6-star, you can't have it go lower than 5. Every time it's about to go away, you have to switch to Tsubasa, stack it up again. Alright, let's try again. I was too slow. Yes, it's Tsubasa stacks that you have to maintain. Of course. It doesn't matter if you're maxed out, it's free damage. Nine point something mil, 9.3. Let me just say 9 mil. That was without optimal rotation. So this is like a quarter of a whale's damage, right? Should be able to get to maybe 10 mil and above if the 6-star Tsubasa is here. Pretty much a quarter of a maxed out whale's damage. It's actually not bad. And obviously, stats matter, right? Your low spender account did 15. I mean, I know it should be possible to be a third to a quarter of a whale. What if you don't have Frigg Matrices? Just do whatever. Put Huma, put anything. A2 Saki or 2-piece Matrices? I'd say 2-piece Matrices. A2 is not useful. A0 is not worth it. If we have 2-piece Saki, I mean, whoever you want to put it on. It's a background effect. Yes, 0 gives shield on discharge, increases damage at 4-piece. Yes, yes. And it's a 4-piece for 28%. This is a 2-piece for 20. Plus another 2-piece for more. Or Shiro, 2-piece for 26. Right? At 50% HP, which averages out to about 13. What about Meryl Saki Frigg? Bro, you're not even attack or resonance no more. You lose the damage from attack resonance. 10%? 10% is huge. Multiplicatively, 10% is huge. Why not use Saki Discharge? Saki Discharge is good. It's just when you're doing burst combo on CN, the discharges just do not enough damage for the time it takes when you only have a burst window of about 10 seconds. How to animation cancel? All you do is just, right, this animation takes super long to finish, or like rather half a second to finish, but just jump, right? So let me not jump or do anything. This is the animation. Let me spam attack after the skill to show you when it actually can attack. Right? It takes a while. So now you jump and Saki. Right? You can immediately jump and then Saki again. It's just faster slightly. It's not really that necessary. Cancel some discharge to see if it's worth it or not. It's not worth it. Discharge canceling is only worth it when you're doing the full burst down CN. When you have a 10-second window on your Kant that does 80% more damage. When you have your clone, which is timed. When you have space-time rift. When you have all your attack buffs stacked together. And from the weapons and from all the other relics. In that situation, your discharge animation is too long. And not worth it when you can spam Saki skills and Alex skills. It's not worth to cancel discharge in normal situations. Like, if you look at Saki Discharge, it's like, what, 300k after multipliers? Just straight up. And then Frigg Discharge. Frigg Discharge is only 224. We always jump cancel Frigg Discharge because animation is too long. I mean, it's usually you jump cancel Frigg because survivability issues, right? There's no iframes. To pull for Saki, wait for Lin. For Frost, I'd say just get Saki. The Saki refresh can only refresh one stack of Lin, not both. How does aggro work in ToF? Whoever does more damage gets the aggro unless there's a tank that taunts, right? Unless there's specific taunting mechanisms. Don't you have to do a percentage of the DPS to keep aggro? Nope. Read Saki. Every 5 seconds, if you're at 3-star, you taunt. There's a taunt right here, right? The Surge has a added taunt, right? The shatter of Surge increases by 100% with an added taunt effect. Surge on a 5-second cooldown at 3 stars pretty much keeps the taunt 100% active, right? But no 3-star Saki, then you can't really tank.